Hello everyone. So in this video, I thought I'll share a common concern that a lot of Jira admins, Jira consultants have. And that concern is actually about the feature of Jira administration. And I'm making this video to answer this, concern, or basically my response, or what I think will or can happen in future or should not happen in future, or basically what I think about this. Now, we all know that managing a Jira Cloud instance is not a massively difficult thing to do. Anyone with a decent understanding of how tools work, any tool, to be honest, I think they can manage it. Of course, when it comes to Jira, I'm not really saying that Jira administration is like a straightforward thing. There is definitely a learning curve, but Atlassian is now making it super easy for everyone to use a tool. And of course, there are courses, free courses now that they can do online. So I'm talking about a new company where Jira has to be rolled out. They might not want to hire a Jira consultant or a Jira admin. They might want to do it in-house. Now the thing is, so this is of course one thing, like you might not have a lot of Jira admin jobs in future. Concern number one. Concern number two could be that if there is a requirement of maybe customizing Jira or making changes to the way people should work, I don't really think you always need a consultant. Of course, you can, with your limited knowledge of Jira customizations, you can still do it. So Jira admin is of course one thing where you can actually ask anyone in your organization, like a project manager, to just create a project and get started, because there are templates that you can start using. But at the same time, when it comes to like making some changes on a regular basis, it is of course not really super difficult, because there is plenty of information available. And I think I have talked on this topic in the past, but if you are someone who is trying to build a career, or if you are already into this Jira admin domain, you might be wondering whether you should keep on doing it for a long time, and especially if you are doing something like as your main competency. For example, me, if I look at myself, if I look at my like main competency these days, or if I talk about how I earn money, of course I do things on Jira. I rely on Jira. I rely on my experience, my skills to help others where they need some, some guidance, or maybe they need us to manage their Jira instance. So of course, if I talk about myself or my company, Sparksys, I'm also a bit concerned. But I think having concerns about longevity of your career, or till when your current skills are relevant, I think it is applicable for almost anything that you do, especially in IT. So my recommendation would be for you is don't worry about it. So if you're doing something on Jira Cloud or Jira Data Center, if you're doing something on Jira Data Center, I don't really think you have visibility beyond 5 years, and it doesn't really mean that after 5 years Jira Data Center will go away. No, that is of course based on the assumption that Jira Data Center will be phased out by Atlassian in the next few years. But that might not happen. Even if that happens, I think my personal feeling is that maybe we have like 5 to 10 years. So that is my gut feeling, that maybe in the next 5 to 10 years we might see Jira Data Center going away completely, right? And 5 to 10 years is actually a very long time. If you look at the lifespan of various roles in IT. When it comes to IT, although IT has been there for, or the IT that we know today, in its current shape and form, the IT industry, I think it has been there for, I think, more than 50 years. Of course, people were doing things on computer in 50s or 60s, even in 40s, I guess. But when I say the current shape and form, like I think it was probably in 70s or 80s when IT jobs were becoming very popular. So basically, if you look at like the historical information, I think based on, of course, my experience, because I started doing something on computers in 90s. I think if you're doing something low level, I think you will survive for a long time, and you don't really need to change or upgrade your skills every 6 months. For example, if you, as I always say, I mean, it is nothing new that I'm talking about in this video. If you're doing something on Jira Data Center, right? So let us start with Jira Data Center, because right now we just have two things, two deployment models, whether it is data center or cloud. If you're on Jira Data Center, even if you look at the next 10 years, which is of course my feeling that, Jira Data Center will be relevant for at least 5 to 10 years. It could be more, it could be, but it is definitely going to be more than 5 years, because even if Atlassian announces tomorrow that they're going to phase out Jira, we still have few years. So my feeling is that maybe we are looking at 5 to 10 years, but I think it is probably long enough, because when you are doing something in your career, in any technology, you cannot really forecast. There is absolutely no way you can forecast that, what you will be doing in the next 10 years from now. So don't worry about it. There is nothing to worry. And again, at the same time, apart from doing, and I'm making this video for those people who are using who basically are like Jira experts or Jira admins or Jira consultants, basically people who have Jira as their main competency. If you think Jira is your secondary skill, then this video is not really for you. But if Jira is your main skill, if you rely on Jira to get a job, if you rely on Jira to earn money, then start. I mean, it's nothing new, but you should definitely think of acquiring other skills, right? So let us focus on Jira Data Center. If you're on Jira Data Center, people who are usually doing stuff on Jira Data Center, they have either development background, because they are probably doing something on script runner. Maybe they are ex-Java developers, or maybe they are Java developers, or maybe they are on the server side, maybe they are system administrators, they are probably someone who is managing the infrastructure. It could be AWS, it could be Azure, it could be Oracle, or it could be your own metal, right? It could be anything. If you're on Jira Cloud, then you should not rely just on doing things on Jira Cloud from the UI, like creating a workflow. I mean, of course, you may know each and everything about Jira administration, but that is not really enough in 2024. So if you're doing just that, you're in trouble. So try to acquire other skills. As I always say, learn Jira automation to begin with. Learn how to interact with Jira using REST API, ideally using shell scripts or Python or Java or Groovy or whatever language that you're comfortable with. Of course, look at those languages that are common. And if you are really into Jira Cloud, then and of course if you have some technical background, then also start exploring Jira or Atlassian Forge platform, because in the next few years it will become like the script runner of Jira Cloud. So I basically wanted to talk about these things because I'm also doing the same thing. I'm not really different from you. Of course, if you look at my career, or if you're trying to compare your career with my career, maybe I am too young or maybe too old for you. I have been working for the last 24-ish, 25-ish, 5-ish years. Of course, I started my career as someone who used to write small C++ program for school kids, and then I started doing VBA, or not VBA, Visual Basic. Then I also used to do a lot of work in Linux, like setting up Linux servers. So I've been doing a lot of things for many years, and I have been making money from these freelancing stuff that I used to do. Then of course I started my own company, Sparks, of course, and I have made websites. I have done plenty of things. I have done a lot of stuff in Excel VBA, and Drupal, for example. Eventually I figured out that you can actually make a lot of money by doing Jira consultation. I have done a lot of Jira consultation work in the past. I have done plenty of Jira trainings. I've written books in Jira. So I'm sharing these things because if you look at my career, or if I look at my career from my perspective, I never really relied on one technology. I was always able to switch like very quickly. For example, if tomorrow I have to do something totally different, for example, I have developed apps in like for Android and also for iOS. So I have that skill, I have that background, and I was able to do it because I have low level skills. I have done like my programming background was in Basic, if you know Basic, and also C, if you know C. I'm sure you know C, and C++. That is what I was trained on. So my skills, and I have done limited like very low level programming like work. I have also done work where you write some code and you write it on an actual chip, right? So thing is that if you have low level skills, I mean, you can't really go to the lowest level like machine language, although I have done that, but never really like professionally, or like when I was like in my engineering college. But the thing is that if you have low level skills, low level doesn't really mean like cheap skills. I'm talking about like in IT language, like in IT, then you can survive for a long time, maybe lifelong, and you can easily switch and adapt and learn almost any technology. Because for example, if I look at myself, I know how to write code in C and C++. So any language which is C based, like JavaScript, Java, Groovy, like the way you would write a for loop or a while loop or a switch case, it's all same. I mean, almost same. Or maybe Node.js, for example. So which is of course nothing but JavaScript. But if I have to write a code in Python, I don't really think I ever did anything professionally in Python. Although I did once for a client where I had to do something, but Python is not really a C based, or the formatting is different. But because I have that background, like low level background, no, I can actually adapt and learn. So if you're doing something on Jira Cloud, for example, then or maybe you don't really have that programming background, then try to learn it. Try to acquire those skills which I talked about, like REST API, or if you can learn programming language. So I think each and every one of you, if you're a Jira admin or a Jira consultant, learn programming. Don't really expect to create workflows all your life, although it may seem like a very nice job for you, because if you're working for a very big company, you might be creating workflows right now and you might feel really good about your job, but you're basically shortening your career if you're not really challenging yourself enough. So if you think you're happy with your current job, or if you think your job is too easy and you're probably getting into a comfort zone, that is actually not a good thing. It is okay to be in comfort zone once in a while. It is okay to be relaxed about what you're doing with your job. For I mean, occasionally it is okay if you're doing something comfortable, but if that becomes like a regular thing, then there is something wrong. So you should always feel challenged. You should always feel a bit worried about your job, your career. If you think your job is easy, then there's something definitely that needs to be improved. So yeah, that is it. I know in this video I talked few other things apart from Jira, but I actually wanted to talk about it, so I thought I'll probably make a video. So yeah, I hope I make some sense. If you have any suggestions for me, do let me know. Or if you think whatever I just mentioned in this video was nonsense, do let me know. But yeah, I hope you found this video interesting and you also learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.